Hey, 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 you reach Camaray. And I'm back with another Insecure review. And I'm so excited to be here. Let's make sure we are live.
Hey.
There we go. We are live. Hello. I'm Camaray. This is Camaray Music TV. And I'm back with another Insecure review. Let me make sure I share my links, honey. And we're going to talk about the show. Now, listen. The show was a bit confusing to me. I'm not gonna lie. It was very quickly dove into excuse me, dove into just what like it almost legit felt like we missed the episode. Right now, click to join the live. Yeah, it almost felt like we missed the episode because we're like a year later. So if you're new here, make sure you subscribe to my channel, like this video, share this video with all your friends, and make sure you comment down below your thoughts on this week's episode. Anything that I missed, let me know. But we're gonna go ahead and get started. So the show starts out. It's a year later. We get like this sped up thing of we see like Issa working. We see like her bulletin board start to be filled with different things. This picture of her and Molly, and I'm like, okay. Then we get this 1 year later. So it's like no time has passed. Like they're back great. Molly got this haircut, and the haircut is very symbolic. Um Anytime a black woman just like shaves all her hair off, like some women, period, are just like, if they feel like cutting their hair, they're gonna cut their hair. Fine, cool, whatever. But black women, we're very connected to our hair. And our hair depicts like how we're feeling, and we can do so many different things with our hair. So Molly, this, super put together, always got a sew in, maybe some braids, maybe a lace front type person. It's very weird to see her like in natural, no hair, right? So when you see her like this, that kind of just lets you know, like, she's taken agency over her life, over the things going on in her life, this new person that she's become. So she's cut her hair, and it looked real cute on Yvonne Orji, right? She's bossing it up at work, taking on things at work, and we're seeing like the new her. Issa's like fully in her element, and I couldn't figure out if she's like working for a place, a nonprofit, and doing her stuff on the side, because I'm like, she's doing her thing, but then does she work with some other people to work with the artist? Like, I'm kind of confused at like what she does and how it works, like with the artist, like the whole breakdown. So if y'all got that, please break it down for me, because I don't fully understand it. Um, but we see her kind of like fully in her element. Now, this episode, I'm not gonna lie, like I kept getting lost because I'm just like, how are we just skipping all around like this? Even the teaser for next episode where we're just looking at all of what Lawrence is doing, I'm just like, okay, what is happening? So let me just break down some different things. We get to see Molly's parents. They still looking good, still holding on strong, right? And Molly's mom is trying to put her on with someone. It's this idea of, them rushing us to get married, rushing us to have kids. Like, that's the thing, like, that your parents do, right? Or that the older generations do. And of course, it gives you anxiety because you want to deliver. They could be right about different things, but also you shouldn't feel rushed to find love. You should move in your own time, because you're never too old to fall in love, right? And so they're telling her that, and they got somebody there named Herbert. And the mom has introduced her to Herbert. He is some church going, play the organ, goofy looking dude. And, of course, Molly's not feeling him, but the mom, like, heavily, heavily trying to put her on. Um, I think the thing for Molly is we're seeing her like get back on the dating scene. She reactivates her dating profile, and she reads like her old About Me thing, and it was like super just like thirsty, like no kids, must have a degree, must have this, must have that, like readily available, all these things. And she was like, yeah, I was doing a lot. And we all know Molly was doing a lot, but it is refreshing to see her like in this new thing, right? She goes out with this guy and she's constantly throughout the episode like giving herself these small pep talks where she's like telling herself, don't do this, don't do that, try it this way, try to be like, just chill, take a breath. And you know, on one hand, I feel like when you are changing or evolving, you do have to do a lot of like self-talk, self-coaching to like get yourself out of that old way of doing things. But also, how much self-talk do you have to do? How much of that are you doing where you're doing it for your betterment versus just like changing completely who you are? Like, I don't want Molly to change who she is. She does have a lot of toxic traits. She does have a lot of things that she needed to work on. But essentially, does she need to change like her whole persona? I don't know. I just want to pause to say I ventured out and filled up my Halloween bucket with so many different kind of candies. Okay. And I didn't have that many trick or treaters. Number one. Number two, somebody told me that Tootsie Rolls was old fashioned candy, and that is not true. Oh, Tootsie Rolls are not old fashioned candy. We're not gonna do this. We're not gonna do this. So yeah, I got a lot of candy left, and it's probably gonna go to my students because it's so much candy. Um. So yeah. So yeah. So yeah. Um. Hold on. Yeah, I don't know why nobody was really trick or treating. And then my sister was saying that out there, people trick or treated last night, but I didn't see no trick or treaters last night either. So I don't know. Anyway. Um. So yeah, that's Molly's whole thing. We see that Issa and Molly have really like gotten back into the swing of things, like almost like episode one, season one. Like they have dinner together, they text each other throughout the night, they still have insiders, they're super close. Like Molly's giving her career advice. Molly spends the night over there a lot. She has a pillow for her. Molly's wearing the tops. Issa's wearing the bottoms. Like they sleeping together. I mean, it just like that's why to me it just like completely just like fast forward and everything just super cool. And it's so funny because if you watch any other Insecure reviews, because I know you're not just watching mine, you'll see that a lot of people made predictions like Crystal and Fran on Insecurity. They made some predictions that heck in the second episode, like it's already been nullified. Kev on stage and that chick Angel, Melissa, that chick's Angel's husband, Marcus, like they all made these predictions and just my opinion reviews, like everybody's making these predictions, and it's just like this episode it just felt sped up to me. I understand we're ending the season. I understand like we were in a pandemic when we were shooting the season. So was it just like, oh, we can only shoot with these two? I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out because I was just very lost. I will say that the cameo this episode of Kobe, Kobe, Kofi, is it Kofi? Listen, Ralph Angel from Queen Sugar. That man, that man, that man, that man, that man, that man, yeah. Listen, he ain't never got to look at that camera and look that good like that. Do you have an off day? Ever? He was on the episode and his name was Crenshaw. You know, like a play on Crenshaw. And he was this artist, and this is what I kind of couldn't figure out. This fashion show was still so over the top. It was like Savage Fenty and like some other stuff that I'm not even privy to. I don't even fully understand. Okay. But it's so funny because Issa like told him that he couldn't do all these things because of who was over her. And then comes this conversation of like muting art or putting art in a box for the sake of pleasing like the man, or checking off the right boxes or making sure things are politically correct. And she went out her way to do all these things because the people above her, or the people they were working with, was telling her that that's the only way that they could do it. Well, the artist Ralph Angel, or Kofi, was like, "Nah, we not doing that. We're gonna do it anyway." And the guy loved it. So it's just like that conversation then becomes like, how much of a risk do you take? And I'm not a risk taker like that. Like, if it's gonna be too much of an uproar, I won't be doing it, okay? But I really do respect people who are just like, nah, we got to shake the table on this one. Like, art needs to be like, this needs to be seen, this needs to be said, like a message needs to get out there, like all of that, this needs to happen. I appreciate and respect people like that. Good stuff. Thank you. So there's that part. Okay, so Issa and Nathan. Nathan is back, and she's actually taking on Nathan as a client. Remember, Nathan opened up this barbershop with his friend, and I was just like, it wasn't even a rollout like, oh, in the past year. And I understand they don't do stuff where it's like hit on the nose type thing, but it wasn't even no conversation like, man, like, I'm still trying to get over Lawrence, but I'm kind of feeling Nathan. It legit felt like we missed an episode because it just was so many things missing. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, she's hanging out with Nathan, and something that was really interesting is, they kind of go out, they're hanging out, like very gray area type stuff. This type of stuff I don't fool with, right? Because this type of stuff men used to be definitely known for when I was out there dating, like a cool, great gray area. Like, we don't have no title on it. We chilling, we kicking it. We know that we feeling each other, but we not gonna take it to the full like titles on it. But also like, I still want you around, so we not just gonna not be nothing. Like, yeah, okay, yeah, okay. But they hanging out, and I'm trying to figure out if they just friends, but he says something like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go hang out later on downtown." And Issa kind of makes this look like, "Oh, is it to go do that?" Because it's a couple kissing like at the restaurant. So the next night, or the couple nights later, when he's at her place, and she says, "Oh, why don't you just spend the night?" And then she got on lingerie, and then they making out, and then she just started crying. I'm just like, what is happening here? Like, are you crying because you let old boy down, like your client? Are you crying because you're not ready to dive back into things with Nathan just yet? Are you crying you because you still into Lawrence and you not fully, like, are you crying? Like, what? I'm confused. I was so confused. Like, why is she crying? Then like he kind of just held her awkwardly. Like, of course he's not in love with her. So like he held her awkwardly, and then he was gone. Like, she woke up to him like closing the door. Like, I'm just like, what is happening on this show? There's so many things that need to be cleared up. So many things that need to be cleared up. And there's so many people that I listen to, like Crystal and Fran, Insecurity. I just now started watching Kev on Stage and them review the show, because a couple of us been reviewing it, like me, and I watch It's Rocks, and I watch Ashley Miller, and I listen to Insecurity, and I didn't say that like 4 times. There's a few people that I've always watched and listened to their Insecure review, right? But now, offering a different perspective of That Chick Angel and their whole Bald and the Beautiful show, I can listen to them, because somebody gonna explain. Somebody gonna have to explain to me what the heck is going on. Maybe like my artistry and my creativity is just not tracking. Like, maybe I'm used to a certain storyline, but I'm just not feeling it. Like, it just feels rushed. It feels like some things are missing. It feels like we just dived right in, and there's some things that aren't answered that should have been answered, at least in this episode, because even the teaser for the next episode is all Lawrence focused. So then I'm like, is Lawrence the main character? I mean, is he? Is he? Am I the drama? Am I? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. So yeah. I also wanted to say Koya. I've been that girl who plays her in this past year, she's been like super active on social media. I just think she's amazing on social media. I didn't even realize that's the same girl, but probably because I watched the show and then the show went off, and then now like I see the girl online all the time. I mean, I really love her. What is her name? Is it Jasmine? It might be Jasmine. But I really like her. She's really, really pretty and really, really funny and educated. But I think that's it this week. I think that a lot of my questions won't be answered until, I listen to some other people and their dialogue about the show, because I just feel like there's some things missing. Like, I understand the symbolism. I understand like we don't have all day, but I also feel like there should be some lead in, some sentence stems where you like make plain where we at. Like you let the audience know like where we at. Some transition type stuff. You can't just be like scene and then scene. Like we need some you know, you know, you know. Anyway, you guys leave your thoughts down below. I don't know. Don't let me eat all this Halloween candy that I got left. I guess I'll be taking it to my kids. I'll leave some here. These are the truth. I hunted these down because they're literally the best Halloween candy. Anyway, make sure you guys like the video, subscribe to my channel, leave your thoughts down below. I'm Cameron, this is Cameron Music TV, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!